Good morning, students. Let us discuss the formula used to calculate the state of hybridization in the central atom of a molecule of a anion as well as in that of cation. So formula for that is we have number of orbitals which are involved in the hybridization. It can be given by n. It is equal to surrounding atoms, the atom which have surrounded the central atom. Then we have plus half G minus V. G is the number of valence electrons of the central atom. And V is the valency of central atom. Or in case of the anion, it is equal to surrounding atom plus half G minus V plus A. This is the charge on anion. This formula is for molecule. This formula is for anion. Then we have the formula for cation, surrounding atom plus half G minus V minus C, that is charge on the cation, positive charge of cation. So this formula is used to calculate hybridization in the cation. So these are the formulas. Now we calculate the hybridization in central atom of the sum of the species. For example, S in SO3. So number of orbital can be calculated. Surrounding atoms are 3 here. Half valence electron of sulfur are 6. Its valency is 6 here, and it is having no charge. So now what will be the number of orbitals in this case? 3. It means it is present in the sp2 state. Then we have the sp2 state. Then we have sulfur in sulfate ion. Value of n can be calculated. Number of valence electron in it. First of all, number of surrounding atoms. They are charged 4 half. Then we have the G. Value of G is the number of valence electron in the sulfur. Then we have the valency of the sulfur. It is 8 here. 4 oxygen joined by a double bond in this case, and charge, negative charge is there 2. So again we are having n, the value of n, that is 4. Hybridization in sulfur, it is sp3 hybridization. So this is the hybridization in case of sulfate ion in the sulfur. Then we calculate the hybridization of sulfur in SF4. Sulfur in SF4. Value of n can be found out. Surrounding atoms are 4 here. Then half valence electrons of sulfur, they are 6. Minus valency, this is 4. There is no charge in this case, so we will be having 5 orbital hybridization. It will be sp3 dehybridization. So sulfur will be pentagonal bipyramidal molecule. Then we have Cl in ClO3 negative. Value of n can be calculated. Surrounding atom in this case, these are 3 plus half valence electron in Cl, that is 7, minus valency is 6 here, and negative charge, this is added. So this is 1, this is subtracted here. So we have 7 minus 7, 0. We have 3 orbital hybridization in this case, and that hybridization will be sp3. Here we are having the negative charge that is to be added. So we have 7, 8 minus 2, we will be having 4 orbital hybridization, that is sp3 here. Then we come to hybridization in nitrogen of ammonium ion. Here we are calculating n number of hybrid orbitals. Surrounding atoms are 4 plus half. Now the valence electron in nitrogen, they are 5 minus valence atoms. Valency is 4. This is minus 1. So we'll be having 4 orbital hybridization, that is sp3 hybridization in this case. So in this manner we can calculate the hybridization in neutral molecule as well as those of cations, as well as in the case of anion. Let us calculate hybridization of iodine in IF5. For this we have nitrogen here. Surrounding atoms are 5, half. Number of valence electron in iodine, they are 7. Valency of iodine is 5. Charge is no, so we will be having 6 orbital hybridization in iodine, that will be sp3 d2 hybridization. So this molecule will be a octahedral molecule due to sp3 d2 hybridization. So this is the way how to calculate. There is another way of calculation of hybridization. Count the total number of electron of the ion or cation or molecule. In this case, total number of valence electron is 5 plus 3, we get 8, because one positive charge is there, we are having 8 electrons. If this total number comes out to be 8 or less than 8, it is divided by 2. So 8 divided by 2, we get 4 orbital hybridization, we have sp3 hybridization. If this counted electron come more than 8, then divide by 8. For example, we want to calculate the hybridization in case of the C2H6 molecule. Then total valence electron in carbon 2 into 4, total 8. 6 from this, 14 electrons are there. Now 14 divided by 8. If this number comes out to be more than 8, divided by 8, so you will be getting 1 from here as the numerator. Then we have 6 divided by 2, so it will be 3, add 1 plus 3, 2 numerator they are being added, we get 4. It is 4 orbital hybridization, that is sp3 hybridization. So there is another way of calculating hybridization, that is count the total number of electron, whether it is molecule, cation or anion. If this total number comes out to be 8 or less than that, divided by 2. If it comes out to be more than 8, then divide it by the 8. And you are having a remainder in the first case, that remainder is to be divided by 2, and then we add denominator numerator 1, 2, and if any remainder is left, that is also added. From the number we are able to identify the hybridization in the central atom. So this is the way how to explain the hybridization in the central atom. Now we come to another question. That question is, out of N2 and O2, out of N2 and O2, which one has more bond energy and why? Answer, we know the structures of oxygen and nitrogen. Nitrogen has got 3 bond between 2 nitrogen atom, oxygen has got 2 bond, double bond. So in this case, since number of bonds is more in N2. So it will have more bond energy than O2, where we have only two bonds. So two bonds require less energy to break up, and three bonds they require more energy. Then we have the question: compare the bond energy of carbon-carbon bond energy. We are talking of your ethane, ethylene, and acetylene. So answer: if we see the structure of ethane, carbon is sp3 hybridized and all bonds are single. Then we, in case of ethylene, carbon is sp2 hybridized, all bonds they are carbon-carbon double bond is present, other bonds are single. Then we have acetylene, we have triple bond between the carbons. Now it has been seen that bond energy of triple bond, it is maximum bond energy. Then it is the turn of your ethylene, then is the turn of ethane. So there are two factors. First factor is number of bonds between carbon and carbon. Here we are having one bond, here we have two bonds, here we have three bonds. Then second is the state of hybridization of carbons. In first case it is sp3, S character is your 25%. In this case hybridization is sp2, S character is 33.3%. In this case hybridization is sp, S character is 50%. So when hybridized carbon has more S character, its hold on the shared electron will be more, therefore bond energy of such system that will be more. So these two factors support that the bond energy of carbon-carbon bond energy of acetylene will be more than that of ethylene as well as that of ethane. So this was our third question regarding the chemical bonding. Then we come to another important bond, that is van der Waals bond. Up to now we have discussed the three bonds. We have discussed ionic bond, covalent bond, coordinate bond. Now we come to the fourth important type of bond in the chemical bonding, and that bond is the van der Waals bond. So question number 4 is rather, define and explain van der Waals bond. Now what is van der Waals bond? It is a surface force operating between non-polar or polar and non-polar or polar molecules. It depends upon the surface area. Higher the surface area of the molecule, higher will be the magnitude of the van der Waals force. These forces, they are of three types. Number one is dipole force. This force is applicable in the polar molecules like HCl. It is found in polar molecules like HCl. When HCl is in the liquid state or it is in the solid state, it has this type of forces among its molecules. This is dipole force. This is one dipole. This is another dipole. They are held by positive and negative centers. Then we have second force, that is dipole induced dipole force. This type of force is found between a polar and a non-polar molecule. This polar molecule induces dipole in the non-polar molecule, and then they are held together by van der Waals force. So let us take the example of noble gas. This is the nucleus of the helium gas. These are the electron outside it. Now when it comes in contact with a polar molecule like water, this negative charge repels the electron of this helium molecule, and nucleus comes in front of oxygen. This side acquire positive charge, this acquire negative charge, this is negatively charged, this is positively charged. So this force between these two molecules, that is called as, this is our induced dipole. And this was already a dipole, so induced dipole force, due to which noble gases, they are dissolved in water. Then we have third type of force, that is London forces. This force is found in the non-polar molecules. Initially the molecule is non-polar. This molecule is non-polar, and when high pressure is applied on this molecule, what happens? Applying high pressure and low temperature, its molecule, its electron gets shifted to one side, nucleus comes to another side. Now this molecule comes in contact with another symmetrical molecule, induces dipole in that molecule also. Now these are held by instantaneously induced dipole force. These forces are called as London forces. So these forces are developed in the non-polar molecule under high pressure and low temperature. These forces, they developed in the LPG gas and the gas which is dissolved in the cold drink. This is instantaneously induced dipole force in the non-polar molecules. This is also responsible for the solubility of the gases in the polar solvents, and LPG conversion of LPG gas, liquefied petroleum gas, or CNG gas, compressed natural gas, into liquid under high pressure and low temperature. It is done by applying high pressure and low temperature. Some molecules, they got polarized, and these polarized molecules, when come in contact with the non-polar molecules, they induce dipoles in those molecules also, and all the molecules, they are then held together by means of the your van der Waals forces. So this is regarding few important questions, and one bond, that was van der Waals bond.